Good morning, this is Vicki.
And this is Jo.
And we're the two natural ladies.
And we talk about the good news we all need and ways of getting the most out of life.
We help people with practical, uplifting ways we can all make a difference.
And we're striving for better, not perfect.
And we love a good laugh. Please enjoy the show.
Are you walking on sunshine?
Oh, always, always. And I'm walking on communities. In communities.
Oh, you're walking.
I'm not on them.
On them, no?
In them, because that's something else we don't want to minimise.
Yes.
We don't want to get out of communities. We actually want to get into communities.
We do, and it takes time. It's like the relationship thing. It's building relationships takes time.
Yes.
Building community takes time.
It does.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. And it's interesting how you can move away from certain communities and then come back again. There was a group of friends who I would meet quite regularly, and then for quite a while I stopped going, mainly because my grandson would come when they were meeting.
Yep.
And that my grandson came first. So, but now we're finding other times that work.
Yeah.
And reconnecting with these people. Mm. But also, and you've done this really well, I think, the whole neighbourhood, getting to know your neighbourhood.
Yeah.
And particularly during last year, I think that a lot of people did that.
Yes. Yeah. Well, and one of our neighbours was very proactive about getting us onto a WhatsApp group together. Mm. So, and then I looked at my WhatsApp this morning and there's like 144 messages. I'm thinking, I'm not very good on WhatsApp. I don't know who's been talking, but
okay. So you don't even know who it is yet. You haven't looked?
It might be just group chats.
Okay.
Hopefully, nobody actually wanting me to respond.
Okay. Well, hopefully, if they really wanted you to respond, they'd find some other way. To do it. And that's actually interesting. Gosh, going off topics or everywhere. That we have to learn how to, in some ways it's like, why do I have to? Anyway, we have to learn how to communicate in a way that's effective for different people.
Yes.
Because we have so many apps and things now, some people, WhatsApp is the way they communicate.
Yep.
Other people, it's Messenger. Other people, it's a text message. Other people, it's an email. Other people, it's ringing up. And it's working out, particularly the people, like my kids.
Yeah.
How do I get into contact with them? They're the easiest. So most of them I find text works.
Yeah.
Phone calls often get ignored.
Yes.
But once I text, they then, will answer.
When you go, pick up your phone,
yes.
Talk to your mother.
But then part of me is like, why do I have to do this?
Yeah.
Why do I have to go, okay, I've got to use that for that person and that for that person? And
yeah.
But I guess if we want to have conversations with these people, that's what we've got to do.
The way of the world.
And so there are now WhatsApp communities. There are messenger communities. So there are people you may not meet or see. We've got our friend Nat and we have a small community of the three of us,
yes.
but we never see Nat in person. We just chat on Messenger.
We do, and it's quite familiar. We don't have to sit there and go, "Hello, Nat, how are you today? Hope you are well."
No.
It's just like, have you done this?
Yes, exactly. Or I thought this would be a good idea. Or I'm going to try this out. Or
what do you think?
Yeah, yeah. But it is, and we have seen, through all the different avenues that we've looked at, how important communities are to our mental health and living a great life. So yes, don't get rid of your communities. Find more if you want.
Oh, absolutely. Very good for all aspects of our health and well-being.
Absolutely.
Yes. And gratitude. We do need more gratitude. I believe that this is the person who wrote this. Mm-hmm. I believe that the greatest expression of gratitude is minimalism. When one is truly grateful for what matters most, no amount of possessions could change that contentment. A room full of gadgets or toys or forgotten impulse purchases steals our gratitude by complicating our lives. To live a life of gratitude, we recognise that the essentials are enough and we can experience how they enhance our existence. Gratitude isn't being thankful for what you have, it's believing what you have is enough.
I think that's great. It's it was what Nina was saying and other people say and we say. It's that whole thing about, oh, I've got to get this pen. Right, great, I've got the pen. Oh, I should be happy now. No. Now I need the notepad. And you know what I mean?
It's and the texture.
Yes.
And all the colours.
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
And then I'll be happy. But
No.
I get them all and I'm still not happy.
No.
I need the next thing and the next thing. So I think it's great. Just be grateful for what you have.
I think it's interesting because I think it's a tricky one because we are wired to strive.
Yes.
And so we achieve something and then there's the next thing. So we do have to kind of stop and remember to be grateful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, and yes, that's right. We are enough, just as we are right now. It bask in the glory of it, and then,
from there, then go forth.
Yes. Well, because we do want to continue to go forth, and we've got some really interesting stuff that we're going to talk about later, which, if people didn't go further and think further, wouldn't happen.
Exactly. Yeah, empathy, which I think we were just being very empathetic of ourselves, really.
Yes.
Because it says here, we don't like to admit it, but when we have a strong belief about the way we live, sometimes we minimise our empathy for those who live differently. Well, there you go. So becoming minimalist. So it's all about, this is an article about minimalism.
Yes.
But yeah, I suppose we do need to remember that although we've achieved a certain way of life, we never know what other people's challenges are, I suppose.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I was speaking to someone again via text or messenger or whatever, and her and her husband's, I've forgotten his name, the clown that we met in Chelsea. Anyway, Jane's person I was chatting with, and they're cleaning up their house and renting it.
Yep.
They're going off grey nomading.
Yes.
And that's amazing. And that's their choice.
Yep.
And yet we were talking, I think it was last week or the week before, about this amazing movie that hasn't come out quite yet, which is about people that have to live in a caravan.
Yeah.
And have to work picking fruit at 65, 70, etc. So there's that whole thing about, is this a choice or is this a have to? But at the same time, from what I gather from what I've seen about this movie, these people are also being grateful for what they have, and there's empathy for them as well. So
there is that. You can actually choose what it is you have to do.
Yes.
Too.
Yes.
Yeah,
well, to a certain extent. Yeah. I think it can be for some people. I think there's always choice, and for some people to see the choice is very difficult.
Yeah.
And it's a matter of somehow helping those people to see that there are other ways if they want them. But yes, the way you live, the way I live, the way other people live, we can all have our own ways.
Yeah, so the course that you and I did, they talk about choosing.
Yes.
Don't they?
Yes.
So that's what that is.
Yes.
Yeah. Here it is.
Just choose it.
Choose it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And for no reason, because that gives you power when you can actually just choose what is, because it is, so you might as well choose it.
Yeah.
And embrace it and go from there rather than
see what you can get out of it.
And acknowledge where you are too, because I think often, and that was another thing from the same course that we did, where they were talking about that if we said we're talking local areas, so if we said we're in Brighton, well, now let's say we're in Sandringham right now.
Yeah.
But we're actually not. We're in Brighton. So the thing is that if we say we're in Sandringham and we want to go to Hawthorne,
yes,
we're going to be in trouble because we're actually in Brighton, and where we're going to be navigated to, well, of course, we've got the blooming GPS, but forget about that. We're going to end up in the wrong place.
We were looking up the old Melways.
That's right. Or even just based on that we're supposed to be in Brighton, but we think we're in Sandringham, we'll end up in the wrong place.
Yes.
So it's actually about acknowledge where you are first, and then you can...
And then go forth.
Yes. And prosper. Yes.
So generosity. So yes. So it's about minimalism is not an excuse to not be generous. Well, you could give all your stuff away to somebody else.
It's very generous. Yes.
So, what do you want to say about generosity, Jo?
Well, I think again it is about, this can be a hard one because if you don't have a lot and if finances are difficult, it can feel like well, they're going to have to pay for this, you know, and I think in the business we're in, it's one of those things where we could just hold on to stuff and not give something away when there's an opportunity to. So it's about looking at what difference will it make, but even just if I feel like giving something, give it.
Yeah.
You know, and it'll work itself out. And at the same time, it's probably not a good idea to give to the point where you're then needing to be given to.
Yes. Yeah. It's that there's a picture of give so fill your cup.
Yes.
And then have it overflow and so that there's plenty for everyone.
Yes.
Well, yeah, and it's not just
finances.
Stuff
no, that's
money.
Right.
It's time.
Yes.
And it's random acts of kindness. And, you know, like we do, our picking up rubbish, hashtag let's do it 321. And it's letting people in traffic and pay it forward.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right. Yes. And again, when we are generous, all our endorphins start popping.
Ah, yes.
So my endorphins, your endorphins, the people we've been generous to, their endorphins, it just multiplies. So
yes. It can be very addictive.
It can.
Yes.
It can. And if you're going to have an addiction, that's a good one to have.
That's the one. Yeah. So, and then education, we shouldn't really minimalise on education.
No.
Yeah, and good quality education, of course.
Yeah, and it's interesting. She's got here, I spoke with a middle-aged woman recently who is, in her words, pursuing a useless graduate degree.
Wow.
I felt sad that she perceived her educational pursuit was for nothing. Education in any form, when applied, enriches our lives to greater understanding, empathy and action. To minimise our education is to minimise our potential to change the world. For any educational investment we gain, at the very least, a deepened capacity to think and to relate to the world bustling around us.
Yeah, look, I think there's so many unforeseen benefits of education, and unless you're sitting in your house doing something online. But if you're out actually at a course, you're meeting people, you have no idea where that's going to lead. And a lot of people, I mean, I've heard of people saying, I studied to be an engineer and now I'm doing this, you know, but it led them there.
Yes. And even if they went completely different, you know, there'll be something that what they did there has brought them to where they are now, and some benefit will be.
I wonder, with that woman who was pursuing the useless graduate degree, I wonder whether she, I'm making this up because I have no idea, but whether she perhaps had all those skills through life anyway, but needed to formalise them into a certificate.
Yes, which is a completely different thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Again, and now this is another really interesting thing, and this is something that we both do too.
Yeah.
We'll go into something, to a course or a workshop or event, where we pretty much know the information that's going to be told. However, what we do is we go, okay, we're going to go for whatever reason, and we're going to get what we can out of it. We're going to bring the information to us and have it be worthwhile to us. And even if it's just one gem, that gem's worthwhile. So yes, it can be, I think, very annoying for people who've got life experience to the wazoo, and yet they're being made to do some course which what benefit is going to be other than they've got the certificate.
Yeah.
However, if they go into it with, I'm going to get the most out of it, I have to do it anyway.
I was doing it was just like a short, an hour and a half, like a seminar, and it was a live on Zoom one, and it's stuff I know. I'm very well versed in it, but the facilitator said something, and it gave me a whole other cut at it. So yeah.
Which is really exciting, and I think that's the thing. I think we need to just keep being open to what's possible and what we can learn from any event or education.
Yeah, well, and the brain science. You and I were talking about it before the show, how all of a sudden that, you know, the information we've been talking about and it's actually becoming more present in our lives, our awareness of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it seems to be popping up everywhere.
Yeah.
You've been listening to the Two Natural Ladies podcast. Visit twonaturalladies.com.au for more information. Thanks for joining us.